Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another live stream. And it's going to be a good one today. I hope everyone enjoys this. We are going to be doing the last two volumes of Mirror Broken. So I hope everyone's got caught up on this already. And special guest with me today is the one and only Drachinifel. It's a Drachinifel.
Yeah. Hello.
Excellent. All right. And you are actually quite a Star Trek fan yourself, are you not?
Yes, I'm from the position where I am currently sitting. I have a Nebula class sitting behind me, and NX-01 refit, and then next to the screen is a Nova class. Also next to the screen, my two 3D prints of my customized flagship from Star Trek Online, and behind the screen is every Enterprise from NX-01 through to the J.
All right. Very good. Very good. So yeah, we're gonna definitely get that going. Except I've lost my screen share for some reason. We're gonna bring up the comic on screen so everyone can see. Let's see. There's Casey. Thank you so much, Casey, for being here. I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, what's
I can do
your?
the share if you want.
Yeah, give me just a second. I'm going to try it one more time. But while we're getting that set up, what's your favorite series of Star Trek? So we're eventually going to have like an actual Star Trek stream at some point. But
yeah, I'm torn between Next Gen and DS9. I would have said 55-45. If you'd asked me like 5-6 years ago, I would have said 55-45 Next Gen. But I think it's tipped over slightly towards DS9 in more recent times.
Okay.
Albeit I'd say that's probably less to do with the series themselves and more to do with the going to several of the big Star Trek conventions that are organized over in the UK.
Very nice.
I've managed to meet a few of the different actors and actresses involved in several of the different series, and by far the nicest. I mean, a lot of them have been very nice. They've all been very nice people. And Michael Dorn is absolutely lovely. But I think probably the nicest two that I can remember are Nicole de Boer, who of course was Esri Dax in season 7 of DS9, and Rene Auberjonois, who of course was Odo.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah, he was. I must admit, actually, yeah, it's a shame he's no longer with us, but he was the single nicest Star Trek actor I've ever come across.
Wow, that's cool.
In large part, to be honest, because it was the first Star Trek event I'd ever been to, that sort of convention.
Oh, really?
I'd booked photo sessions with him and who was the one? I can't remember his actual real name. But
Who's the character?
Tom Paris.
Tom Paris, Robert Duncan McNeil.
There you go. Yes. So I'd booked photos with both of them, and they were half an hour apart. So I thought I had plenty of time. But there apparently at some point between me booking those sort of pre-booking those slots and the actual convention, they changed the time slots around, so they're actually simultaneous.
Oh no!
So I got my first photo, which with the first one had been scheduled with Tom Paris, and then I legged it across to the booth where Rene Auberjonois was supposed to be, only to find it was empty.
Aww.
And I was like, oh, and I thought initially, well, the thing was initially because it was about 10 minutes before what it said on my ticket to be there. I thought, oh, maybe no one's shown up yet, but this seems odd because there weren't any staff either. And then after about 10-15 minutes, one of a random passing staff member was like, oh, can I help you? And I explained what's going on. And they said, oh, no, that was like half an hour, 45 minutes ago. And I said, yeah, but it says on the ticket now. And they said, oh, no, we changed it. okay, when were you going to tell people this? Apparently, it had gone out on like some email that they hadn't set. It turns out they hadn't actually sent that email out to everyone who had registered. But anyway, so I was a bit obviously put out by that, and then she said, "Well, I can call to see if Rene's in the area. If he might have gone too far." And they phoned him up, and then she got off the phone and she said, "Oh no, he's gone back to the hotel, which was on the other side of the XL Centre in London, which is absolutely massive." So she said, I don't think anyone's gonna come back. And I was like, well, that sucks. So I thought I'd sit down and chill for a minute, because I had about an hour until the next session that I had booked. And then about 15 minutes later, he just wanders up and says, "Oh, I hear you wanted to have a photo with me." And I was like, "What?" It's like, I know where that hotel is. He'd basically turned around and started walking back the minute he'd got that phone call. And so he'd come all the way back. So he basically put himself all told about 4, because then they rounded up some staff to take the photo and everything. He basically used about 45 minutes of his day up just to come back for one photo with one person.
Wow. Okay.
And I was
that
like,
was cool.
Yeah, I was just like, well, this guy is now my favorite actor, because he seems to actually care about people who, want to have a photo with him.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so we're gonna get into it.
Yep.
And Star Trek: Next Generation, Mirror Broken, issue 4. Great cover. What do you think of this cover?
I like this cover. I've always had a weak spot for the refit, like the All Good Things Enterprise.
Yeah.
And it's the ISS Enterprise, so they've put the golden claw on it. But yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, which came about in Enterprise, and although in Enterprise they didn't have any markings on the underside of the saucer section, mostly so they could use stock footage, so they wouldn't have to update it from all angles.
Yeah.
And Mirror Broken, written by Scott Tipton and David Tipton, who they know a fair bit about Star Trek. I'm guessing from their writings, although not as much as they probably should know, because we're going to run into some issues here towards the end, but we'll get to that when we get to it. And of course, art by J.K. Woodard, colors by Charlie Kershaw, letters by And World Design. All right, and we've come to a decision that you are going to voice. Who are you going to voice?
I'm going to be doing Data, some aliens, and I'm going to try Picard.
Okay, and I'm pretty much going to do everyone else, but I can take over as Picard if.
Well, I think it's more down to the viewers if they think I'm doing an absolutely awful Picard. I mean, my sole advantage at this point is that I have a pre-existing British accent. It's just nowhere near what Patrick Stewart's is.
That's okay. We're not going to sound like anyone anyway. Okay, so here we go. And we start out in the shuttle bay of the Enterprise. And we got this mysterious cargo pod here. And Bradley starts out and he says, "Data, what the hell is in this isolation pod that the captain had beamed over from the Stargazer?"
"That container holds a special guest of the captain. You and I need to see that she is safely secured on her new quarters on the Enterprise."
"Her? Who's inside?"
"Her name is Guinan."
"She's real? I thought that was just ship's gossip. Are you kidding?"
"I do not kid, Lieutenant."
"This I have to see." "Whoa. Yeah. What happened to her? Why is she locked up?"
"It is for the safety of others. She can be unpredictable. Guinan is an El-Orian. She is hundreds of years old. We think she may be the last surviving member of her race. All the others like her were killed in some sort of planetary genocide. The extermination of her people drove her to the condition you see now."
She does have kind of a crazy look to her. And yeah, go ahead if you want to make a comment on something, because I'm going to comment on stuff throughout.
Oh, okay.
Just
Yeah.
throw it out there.
Yeah.
Whatever. Is she crazy?
The captain actually finds her quite insightful. He authorized me to talk to you about her today. We anticipated you would have questions. It's loud banging.
Yeah, bang, bang, bang.
Guinan and the captain have known each other for a long time. They have a mutually beneficial relationship. He finds her advice and counsel to be of considerable benefit and profit. I also find her very fascinating.
Yeah, well, that's no surprise.
What do you mean?
You and Guinan have something in common, Data. Captain Picard seems to have a real soft spot for misfits and hard luck cases like you two.
Processing. Very interesting. I have never considered this before. Does the captain's soft spot include you as well, Mr. Barclay?
All right, we skip over to the next scene inside the Enterprise observation lounge.
Mm-hmm. All right, here goes nothing. Congratulations all around. We have accomplished what to many might have seemed impossible. The Enterprise is ours. Now we can finally retake our proper place in the galaxy, break free of the confines of our own solar system, and begin raining down hell itself upon the Klingons and Cardassians. But before we can begin, we need to face some harsh realities as we figure out how to run the ship effectively. First, we need to deal with the Jellicoe loyalist malcontents we have on board. We're on our way now to Neptune Station to take care of that. Second, and this I think is far more pressing, we have a mere skeleton crew on board for the operation of such a large vessel. Do we have enough qualified crew members in key positions to properly run the Enterprise?
All right, did you catch up on the previous issue? Are you up to speed on what happened? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, just in case anyone hasn't watched the previous video, which you really should have, Captain Jellicoe got transported out into space, or not transported. He got blasted out of space in the shuttle bay. So he got blown out into space. He's dead. Interesting to note here is the back wall of the observation lounge has the design from the later seasons of Next Generation. It's like the second half, basically around fifth season when they were filming Star Trek 6. They used a lot of the Next Generation sets to save money, and one of the sets was the observation lounge. So they redressed it and almost completely redid it. And I guess when the Next Generation got it back, they just decided not to put the golden ships back in, which I kind of liked. I like the little ships. And Counselor Troy says, I've reviewed our personnel, taking into account crew we brought over from the Stargazer, as well as those on the Enterprise who have chosen to join us. We've got just barely enough to get by some station. Some stations are going to be stretched thin, but we can mostly cover the key duty shifts. What concerns me is a lack of key bridge personnel. We could consider keeping some of the crewmen whose loyalty was more on the borderline.
Absolutely not. No one stays aboard that we can't depend on.
Very well. We only have one qualified navigator who is familiar with the unique qualities of a Galaxy-class vessel. Lieutenant Sue. Clearly, she can't work round-the-clock shifts. Maybe more important in general, we really need another officer or officer in training who is knowledgeable about the Enterprise. I warned you about this, Picard. Are you sure you've got the necessary people to run this ship?
Is that me or Troy?
Yeah. That's Troy. Okay. Geordi, what about Leah Brahms? Being Inquisitor, she's not up to this sort of task. Besides, she's passed out drunk in her quarters. Right now, anyway.
Officer in training, you say? Wesley. How about Wesley Crusher?
The boy? Beverly Crusher's kid? He's just a child. Besides, does he even have all his marbles?
It's all just an act. He's actually brilliant. The doctor's been hiding his genius for years. He had already pulled and analysed all of our service records for strengths and weaknesses the moment we set foot aboard this ship.
Really? He's a hell of an actor, then. Captain, you can't be serious.
We need him. He's an asset. Damn it, when we're going to take advantage of every asset we have to make this work.
Assuming he's as smart as you say he is, that doesn't necessarily mean he's got what it takes, that he won't crack under the pressure. This is an awfully big gamble.
Our last gamble turned out rather well, Commander, and I am feeling lucky.
And I love Picard's expression in that top middle.
It's completely smug and self-assured.
Yeah. That is some super smug. Let's see. Do we have any comments in the YouTube live chat?
I have no idea.
I could switch over, but I think I'm going to lose my screen share if I do that.
Let me have a look.
Yeah, have a look and see if there's any comments.
No, nothing that's made it through other than pre-existing stuff.
All right, excellent.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So my apologies if I miss any comments or anything like that. I might lose the screen share for some reason. I don't know why. But okay, moving on. Quick, I want to point out here on this main view screen, that looks a lot like K7 Space Station.
Yes,
Yeah,
just with a lot more guns.
Yeah, it's heavily modified. But shortly, Captain, we are in synchronized orbit with Neptune Station, sir.
Very good, Lieutenant.
The station reports they are ready to begin the prisoner transfer anytime you like, Captain.
Mr. Barclay and Mr. Data, would you please handle the transfer of the Jellicoe loyalists? Inquisitor, Mr. LaForge, would you care to join me on a quick trip to the penal facility? Have you been here before, LaForge?
No, sir, I've not. But I've heard stories.
It's not quite as bad as all that, mostly. And top secret, too. I happen to be well acquainted with the administrator. The penal facility on Neptune Station is run by Tuster Fon. He's been there for years. Nowadays, it's rare for an off-worlder to still be in charge of an Imperial facility, but he's so knowledgeable and efficient at penal colony management and re-education that the Empire has allowed him to keep his position.
And it certainly didn't hurt that he was a pioneer in the agonizer technology.
Indeed. Energize, Lieutenant. I've known Fon for a very long time.
Oh.
He was the medical officer on my first commission.
Okay, so we might need to switch it up here because you're going to be talking to yourself unless you want to do...
Yeah, if you don't mind picking that one up, because... Yeah.
You want me to do Picard?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm now the aliens. Captain Picard, you old space pirate. It's good to see you.
Tusta, your personal guards are magnificent.
Oh, you like them. You can't be too careful when running a penal colony, you know. So, you just want me to hold on to them for a while? For their own safety, of course.
Yes, if you don't mind, Tusta. I'm sure an Imperial ship will be here shortly to pick them up. You have my gratitude. I'll owe you one.
Oh, don't worry about it, Jean-Luc. You've helped me out many a time, and I am happy to do it. And good luck with the new ship, I must say.
Thanks again. What is this, Tusta? Some new research?
Indeed. It's our new experimental therapy device. My predecessor Adams built it, but he never quite worked out the bugs. He called it the Neutralizer.
It seems rather effective.
It is. I just need more fresh test cases. Say, Captain, Would you mind if I tried it out on some of your friends of Jellicoe here? Don't worry, Captain. When I'm through with them, they won't remember a thing about their treatment. They'll think they had a nice time here.
No, you wouldn't. There's another smug Picard face.
Yes.
That's awesome. I love smug Picard. Make it so, Dr. Fawn. Ah, damn you, Picard.
Wee-oo, wee-oo.
Ah! Why are you doing this? We don't deserve this. You should have made better choices. If you had done so, you would not be in this situation.
Thanks, Jean-Luc. This will advance my research by months. Wee-oo.
Ah, no! Later, in 10 forward. Okay. So,
Dark edition.
Yeah. Although it's got a nice little screensaver on the the screen behind the bar.
Yeah.
And a nice view, actually, a nice view of the space station through the 10 forward windows. That's pretty sweet. Okay, so we get two characters that I normally do. So, which do you want to do one?
No, there's no way I can do either of these. If that's all right with you.
There you are. Whenever I need to, I don't know why I'm doing that voice. That's terrible. There you are. So I've had an issue with Deanna Troy's voice. Okay. There you are. Whenever I need to find you, I just need to look for the place farthest on the ship. You love being first anywhere. What do you want? Did you come here to try to browbeat me into leaving your precious captain alone? Not to worry. Your Tin Man and his lapdog beat you to it. No, I came here to check on you. Stay out of my head, Deanna. I never needed to read your mind to know what you're thinking. The ship could still be yours, Will. Everything could still be yours. You just have to wait until the time is right. And then they go into an embrace. And what do you think of Riker's mirror look?
Certainly the amount of facial damage he's taken strikes me as something Mirror Universe Riker would almost certainly have acquired.
His beard, he's got, I mentioned in the previous issue, he's got like almost a Viking-like beard. I dig it.
Well, they value like the warrior ethos than the martial strength in this universe, obviously. So I suspect things like that probably would come up a lot more.
All right. Anyone talking in the chat?
Not on YouTube.
Excellent. Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. So here we're moving on to Sick Bay. And we got Picard and Dr. Crusher. And very good likeness. Very good likeness on Crusher there.
Yeah, so I'm back to being Picard now, I guess.
Yes. I said no, absolutely not.
And I'm telling you what is going to happen.
I've worked long and hard for years, keeping Wesley's secret, and
it's helped you as well, hasn't it? And what about him? Your son isn't the only one who can study service records. I've seen how you've adeptly transferred from ship to ship over the years, always just before an unfavorable change of command or an unprofitable assignment, benefiting from Wesley's analysis, no doubt. Beverly, it's time to stop hiding his gifts.
What's going on?
Shut up, Wesley.
My Weasley Wesley voice, yeah.
Here's the situation, Wesley. In our operations to take command of the ship, there were a few casualties. Unfortunately, among those casualties were two of the best candidates for the navigator's position. This is a new ship, unfamiliar to all of us, and I want someone in that position who has studied every schematic, every procedure, every operation. I want someone in that chair who knows this ship, and I'm guessing that's you. Am I wrong?
No.
What'll you do, Wesley? Keep hiding or show your mettle?
I'm in, sir.
Excellent. Go see the quartermaster and have him issue you a uniform. On my authority, you're not serving on my bridge wearing a sweater.
That is a definite slam on season 1 of
Yes.
TNG. And okay, so now I can view the YouTube chat, and Casey says super accurate Beverly impersonation. Thank you so much, Casey.
I must say, I also like the fact in this comic, Picard seems to like the Starfleet equivalent of a tank top.
Yeah, they all do it. It's kind of like their like casual uniform.
Yeah.
Because there was a different one, like I mentioned in one of the previous volumes, when Jellicoe is taking command in the Enterprise. He's got like this coat, but he takes it off when he gets on the bridge. But Mirror Picard, actually Picard in general, Patrick Stewart, he's got some guns. Like he's well built. Okay. Captain, this is not over.
Doctor.
I guess it is over. Because what the hell?
Ensign Crusher is taking his position at navigation, Lieutenant. Any further comment?
No, sir.
Things are going to continue to be done differently aboard this ship. Change is the only thing that is going to lead us out of the darkness. We've all served on plenty of starships that continue to tow the Imperial line, and we've seen where it's delivered us. Near extinction at the hands of the Klingons and the Cardassians. No more. We will deliver change, and change will deliver us.
Inspiring. What's going on with Troy? She looks she looks like she's enjoying the Picard monologue.
Yeah, she seems a lot more enthusiastic.
Yeah. Everyone else just looks kind of like concerned. Even Data kind of looks concerned.
So, yeah, Riker's calculating something. Right. What's happening next?
Okay. All right. So on the next panel, we've got a nice view screen illustration. We got 3 ships. Well drawn. Although part of it one is covered up by Data's speech bubble.
Well, I would note at this point we now have more ships of different classes on screen than I think we ever did in the Next Generation itself.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. And also, do you notice something else off?
Well, we've got an Ambassador class and a Constellation class there.
Yeah, Constellation class. The other one that's covered up is the New Orleans class. But on the bridge, do you notice anything off on the bridge?
Well, it's more grey than the beige of the TNG one.
Yeah.
Oh, and the LCARs are blue instead of yellow.
Yep. Do you notice anything else?
Can't say I immediately do.
Okay. Because at some point I think the stations are gonna swap. There's an error. Like right now they're right, but I think in a panel coming up they're going to swap. Like Data's going to be in the wrong position. But okay,
because he's currently in the left-hand position.
Yeah. Okay. All right, carry on.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Data talking.
Yes. Oh, of course.
Okay.
Sorry, that's me. Sorry. Captain, 3 ships dropping out of warp directly ahead of us. Ship's registries mark them as the Stargazer, the Horatio, and the Arnold.
Which the Horatio is actually an ambassador class starship. So that's right. So that's from the episode Conspiracy, which we never actually see the ship. We see some wreckage later on and it gets destroyed, but they do name it as an ambassador class starship, so that is right. All right. Looks like they got your old bucket of bolts up and running again.
And fully crewed, no doubt. Receiving a hail from the Horatio captain. On-screen Data, an old friend sent to talk some sense into me.
What the hell do you think you're doing, Picard?
Walker, it's been a long time. How have you been keeping?
This is, of course, Walker Keel, an old friend of Picard. Also mentioned, not mentioned, he shows up in the episode Conspiracy. You smug bastard, don't give me your niceties. You traitors, you're traitors to the Empire, all of you. I'll see you executed for this, unless you immediately come to your senses and hand over the Enterprise.
I don't think it'll come to that.
And you're dead.
Transmission ended. Well, Commander, time to see if this ship lives up to all the rumor and intrigue. All 3 ships powering up their phaser banks. Shields up. Apparently.
So we get a space battle. Sustaining fire from all 3 vessels, Captain.
Damage report.
Shields holding. Shields holding, remaining at 97%.
Impressive.
Oh, wait, that's Data.
Is that Data? No, that's whoever that is pink-skinned.
Yeah, well, that looks like it's coming from Data's position, though.
Yeah, but Data's grey.
Yeah.
Maybe this is where the swap over happens. I don't know. Yeah, you can see it's much more clearly in New Orleans class in this.
Yep.
And they're using all 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So art's pretty good. Yeah, nice look to it. The New Orleans class, although not in canon, it seems to be, people seem to say that the Rutledge, which was Chief O'Brien's ship before he joined the Enterprise, was a New Orleans class. So it's not canon, but I don't see any reason why it couldn't be.
With its wonderful highlighter pen torpedo launcher.
Yeah. That was a Battle Wolf 359 graveyard ship.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know this. I'm mostly commenting to the audience watching. But yeah, it's never supposed to really be seen up close. But yeah, those are 100% highlighters.
Let's give the Horatio a little taste of what we have to offer, Mr. Barclay. Nothing too permanent yet, just shake them up a little.
Phasers locked onto Horatio's saucer section, sir.
Fire.
A direct hit, sir.
You don't say. Flipping phaser lance.
Horatio is dropping back, sir.
Sensors indicate Horatio's shields are down 36%. I should imagine so, Mr. Crusher. Take us around for a better vantage point of the Stargazer and the Arnold. Now, Mr. Barclay, let us break in the photon torpedoes. Fire off a volley or 2 at the Stargazer and the Arnold, would you?
Aye, sir.
Warp, warp, warp. Apparently is the sound of photon torpedoes in the alternate universe.
Yeah, and it looks like the torpedoes are coming out of the that big-ass phaser cannon.
It's the Swiss
some
Army
reason.
knife of all of weaponry.
So that's a little off. I can't say for sure. That's just the way it looks.
Hmm.
Maybe it's coming out of the regular, the actual torpedo launcher.
In the
But
neck.
yeah. Although remember the episode Darmok where
Hmm.
they shoot a phaser beam out of the photon torpedo launcher?
I think at one point you
Um,
get a couple of phases off the warp nacelles as well.
I don't recall that. It's entirely possible.
I think it's in one of the. It may be Best of Both Worlds where they're just going all out with everything, and there's just phasers coming off of almost every implausible point. 'Cause I remember reading that at some point someone decided to sort of retroactively address that, because when you see I think it's the Venturer show up at DS9 in the aftermath of Way of the Warrior, there's a pair of phaser strips that they attach to the top of the warp nacelles.
Yeah, you know what that is. That's actually they're left over from the Galaxy version in All Good Things.
Mm.
So the scene in Best of Both Worlds, there's phaser strips underneath the nacelle pylons that they fire off.
Yeah, and then that's led to the whole War Galaxy argument for DS9.
Yeah.
Yeah. We appear to be more than a match for whatever comes our way, wouldn't you say, number one?
Sir,
We've
got company. You were saying?
To be continued.
To be continued. That is the end of Volume 4 with this nice shot. This shot of this upcoming battle with all these.
There's a Keldon or two in there as well.
You see a Keldon?
Yeah, the one that's
right
going head to head with Enterprise.
Yeah, right in front of it. That is a Keldon class. Yeah.
I love the way this lot apparently managed to sneak up on them while they were paying attention.
Yeah, there's like 30 birds of prey.
Mm.
A dozen Galors and at least one Keldon. Actually, the ones beyond the one, there's a couple.
Yeah,
like there's like 3 there. All right. So yeah, that's the end of this volume. What do you think of Volume 4 overall?
I'm quite enjoying it. I mean, the Mirror Universe novels and comics, etc., they can be a little bit hit and miss. But this one seems to be one of the better ones.
Yeah.
I must admit, it would be. I think it. Whilst I appreciate what they did with DS9, with the Mirror Universe, with it falling, and obviously it's kind of, I guess, a few years set after this comic, but I kind of almost my head canon is there's Mirror Universe A and Mirror Universe B.
Sure.
And Mirror Universe A has the Terran Empire in it, and Mirror Universe B is kind of the DS9 Mirror Universe. Because I mean, yeah, the Mirror Universe stories that DS9 do are pretty good for the most part.
Yep.
But I do enjoy seeing the Terran Empire, because it gives everyone an opportunity from just to see the actors having fun playing an alternate, much more evil version of their own character.
Definitely.
But also, from a storytelling perspective, I think the Terran Empire provides a bit more of a storytelling opportunity to examine kind of the reflected values, because Star Trek's obviously supposed to stand for like good values, and our characters are good people, and then you can contrast that with the opposite.
Yeah, I totally agree. It gives you a nice balance to the optimistic, very clean, optimistic future, which I really enjoy. I really like the aesthetic, but there's always room for a different take. And the
Yeah.
mirror universe is perfect for that. So yeah, I think it's a missed opportunity that the Terran Empire fell in between the original series and Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, I don't think that's the kind of the problem in that the one thing I count against the DS9 Mirror Universe episodes is that, in this and in the original series Mirror Universe episodes and everything, you've got the evil versions of our characters, whereas if you think about the DS9 episodes, there's not really that many evil human characters. They're just kind of snarky and more bitter versions of the main characters, and then it's like, to be fair, if you were enslaved by the Klingon Cardassian Alliance, you'd probably be bitter and snarky as well. So at which point it's not really a mirror of our main characters. There's just kind of a slightly alternate timeline version of our characters.
Yeah. And then O'Brien, he's not really all that different.
No, and it kind of raises the issue of like, well, if the mirror universe is supposed to be the humans are evil, well, apparently they're just not. They're not apparently not actually evil. They're just they I don't know. They let power go to their heads, and when they don't have it, they become vaguely normal again.
Yeah. I really wish they would have done a mirror universe and actually a Next Generation mirror universe episode. But so the comic overall pretty decent. Would you recommend it so far?
Yeah. I mean, as you say, this is the kind of thing they really should have done with the Next Gen crew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's move on to issue 5. Issue 5. It's a little. There's some problems. There's a few problems in it, which we'll get into, which makes me think that maybe they're not that big of Star Trek fans. Like they have some understanding of the franchise. Maybe they're like casual fans. Probably they have more knowledge than maybe just like an average person. I think, but there's some issues with this issue coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so we start out and we got this big battle coming up, and I guess I can do the Cardassian unless you want to do it, and I can do Picard or.
But you be the Cardassians.
Okay. Terran forces, this is Galdinar. We hate to break up your little spats, but seeing that you are outnumbered and outpositioned, on behalf of the Cardassian Klingon Alliance, we'd like to order you to immediately stand down and prepare to surrender the ISS Enterprise. If you don't mind, we'd like to inspect your new toy.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Enterprise. Galdinar, you know very well that we will never surrender this ship.
Smug Picard.
Mm-hmm. And Guinan has apparently been on the Dune Spice.
Yep. He's got some crazy eyes going on, definitely, and they are very blue. They could have done Gul Dukat on this, which I don't think they needed to. They could have, and that would have been like the obvious route to go, I think. But
or even Damar from DS9.
Yeah,
Damar. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see in the next panel. I kind of wonder if that's what they actually intended.
I don't know. There's one panel where he looks like Gul Dukat. Like he really looks like Gul Dukat. I think it's on the next page. We'll get to. No. Okay. Well, yeah. Maybe he does kind of look like Damar on this page at the very bottom.
Yeah, exactly. That's what made me think it. So Guinan's, I don't know, doing a weeping angel impression.
Yeah, she's hauling ass, and the crewmen are they're like shocked, like what the fuck?
Well, you probably have the same reaction, to be honest.
Yeah, I probably would be if I saw Whoopi Goldberg like chugging down the hallway.
Yeah.
Like that.
As a matter of fact, Goldenar, the Enterprise is more than a match for your so-called fleet, and we're prepared to show you just how powerful this vessel is.
Okay, remember he says that.
Mhm.
We're more than a match for. Okay. Come now, Picard. It seems to me that my proposal is a reasonable one. We get your ship, and you get to continue living. I give you my personal word that you and your crew will be treated well in my custody.
Guinan's going full bore.
Yeah, she's like she like body checked these guys, and they're off their feet. Like she's really like so hauling ass.
Yes. I would rather take my chances in battle with you any day, Cardassian.
Oh, are you so sure about that, Captain? We've already prepared a little display for you. Execute Operation A immediately.
Built out of trash the New Orleans class was, and to trash it shall return.
Yeah. Destroyed.
I love the fact you've got the galores with like the massive forward phaser array they've got, and then you've got this little bird of prey just like, I'm helping.
Yeah, me too. And that thing is totally blown away, just totally annihilated. All right, this next page, that looks like Gul Dukat.
Yes, it does.
There. The Arnold, sir, is completely destroyed. There's more where that came from, Picard. Are you sure you won't reconsider my offer?
Shut him off.
I recommend less talk and more action, sir. We need to put some distance between us and these overwhelming forces immediately and figure out a plan.
Agreed, number one. Data, let's get away from here as quickly as possible, out of the solar system. Set an evasive course, warp 9.5, or faster if she'll do it. Aye, sir. Course plotting and engaging immediately.
Now, why is Data plotting a course and engaging the warp engines?
Because that should be the job of the navigator.
Yeah. The con. Right. It should be Wesley. And then later on, they're going to do something that's questionable that, you know, maybe should have actually been to Data. Like he talks to the Crusher. Maybe he should have asked it to Data or maybe Barclay. But okay, moving on. Captain, what about the Horatio and the Stargazer?
Tell them to follow us if they value their lives.
And they go blasting off into warp. and Guinan reaches the end of her photossing charge.
Yes. Guided special power is apparently throwing people.
There's another guy up into the air. Captain Picard, I need to speak with you. Stop her. Whoa.
Wait.
Jean-Luc, this is urgent. We need to speak.
It's okay. Stand down. Let her be.
This way, Guinan. We'll talk in here.
Maintain course and speed, Data. I'll be right back, number one.
He's doing it again. Data doesn't fly the ship.
Mm. Maybe he really doesn't trust Wesley.
Well, he's going to put him on the bridge in the first place. Take it easy. The captain's coming. I know. I just need to talk to him now before it's too late. Jean-Luc, who is this? I've never seen a reading like this before.
An old friend, Doctor. Is she going to be all right?
I think so. She's just under a tremendous amount of stress. Stress? Of course I'm stressed. You need to get your ego in check, Jean-Luc, before it gets the worst of you and gets us both killed. You need to be thinking 2 steps ahead, not exchanging schoolyard taunts with that fool Cardassian back there.
Yes, you're right.
You need to think about what this new ship can do for you and how you can best take advantage of the situation. Anything else, anything less than that from you now could get us all killed. How did she know all that?
You would be surprised, Doctor, at the depth of Guinan's knowledge. Her counsel has saved me innumerable times. Doctor, would you escort Guinan back to her quarters and make sure that she gets the best of care?
Are you ordering me off the bridge, Captain? Because I have every intent on continuing to keep an eye on my son.
Beverly, now is not the time for the place for this argument.
Let me take care of Guinan. There's no need for infighting at the moment. Wouldn't you agree?
And you, no more surprise excursions to the bridge.
And that's it. We're done with Guinan.
Ensign Crusher, status report.
See, now shouldn't he be asking Data or maybe Barkley?
Yeah.
The Cardassians and Klingons are still in pursuit, Captain, and they're slowly gaining on us. The Enterprise is faster than the Cardassian and Klingon ships, but we're slowed down by the Horatio and the Stargazer. They just can't keep up with our top speed.
We have two choices, Captain. Either we abandon the Horatio and the Stargazer and thereby escape our pursuers, or we stay with the Horatio and the Stargazer and make a stand. Our odds in making a stand are not all that good. I won't abandon the Horatio and the Stargazer to be destroyed, even though they were in pursuit of us mere moments ago. But if we turn and make a traditional stand with them against our enemy, we face nearly inevitable defeat and destruction. These options are terrible. I want new options. What else do you have?
Now, just a few panels ago, he was talking about how the Enterprise was a match for his entire fleet, and now all of a sudden he's like, maybe I wasn't quite right about that.
Yeah, maybe he was counting on the others being meat shields for him, and then the Arnold turned out to be not quite as shieldy.
Maybe was he counting on that New Orleans?
He'll distract them long and maybe not.
I've been thinking, what if we take the Enterprise? What if we make the Enterprise 3 ships? 3 ships? What do you mean, Ensign? I was thinking that we could separate the saucer from the secondary hull and launch the captain's yacht as well. This would mean the Klingons and the Cardassians would have to be shooting at more targets and provide us with a variety of different tactical options to engage the enemy.
Good thinking, Wesley. That's what we need. Novel approaches in the face of unusual circumstances. Splitting up the Enterprise gives us options for a number of surprises.
That's all well and good, but can this plan actually work, LaForge? Can we coordinate all 3 parts? And would this really help improve our odds? Okay, so here now we're starting to get into a bit of a problem area. I'll go into it a little more. I think when we actually go through with it.
Yeah.
You know what, Commander? This just might work. I can coordinate communications, sensor scans, and our tactical computers across the main bridge, secondary hull's battle bridge, and the pilot module of the yacht.
There are too many variables to predict outright success or failure with Wesley's plan, but all of my simulations indicate that we will have a significantly higher possibility of victory.
Sounds good to me. I always favor the odds.
Agreed. Let's get this all underway immediately. Let the Horatio and the Stargazer know of our plan, Lieutenant Barkley.
Aye, sir. I hope they'll be on board with it.
I really don't think they have much of a choice, Lieutenant, considering that the enemy is hot on their tail. Number 1, I'm thinking you should be the one in the captain's yacht.
Damn it. Why did I know you were going to say that? I'm the first officer on this ship, Picard. I should be commanding either the saucer section or the secondary hull.
Hear me out, Commander. You know what I'm thinking. I want the yacht to run interference while the rest of the Enterprise makes its moves.
Yeah, and you want me to draw fire away from the others. I get it. I'll be a sitting duck out there. I know exactly how Jellicoe rigged that ship. The yacht, the yacht's more like a recreational vehicle than a fighter, and it's not like I have any time to make any improvements on it.
You know damned well you're the best pilot in the fleet. If anyone can pull this off, it's you. It's a challenge, and you know it. If I thought I had a better chance of success, I'd be in that ship myself. I'll do everything in my power to offer you cover wherever we can. Do I have your support on this?
All right, Picard, I'll do it. Considering our situation, it may well be for the best, and I will accept this as a personal challenge. But I don't like it. And that is actually true, or at least on the Enterprise. Riker is known to be the best pilot on the ship, so I got to give him credit for that.
Especially when he gets a pop-out joystick on the Enterprise E.
The manual steering column, or manual steering. What do they call it? Manual steering. What do they do call it? Manual steering column. I don't know. All right. Well, don't you dare get killed. I still don't trust you. I don't know if I ever will, but I'm going to make out with you anyway. See you on the other side. He's in, Jean-Luc.
Good. Meet me on the battle bridge. Picard out.
Damn it. All right. So here's a problem. This panel is a problem.
Yes.
a few problems. The big one, of course. What's the big?
It's not the Galaxy class's captain's yacht.
Right. That is the Enterprise E captain's yacht.
Yeah, you can see the where the Enterprise D's captain's yacht actually is, and it's currently imprisoned by a giant phaser lance.
Yeah, it's right here, underneath this gun, which this gun is broken in half now. I really don't think this ship is supposed to separate, because I think this big ass cannon is supposed to draw power directly from the warp core.
I suppose it could still do that. If that kind of junction is kind of, I don't know, an interlink of some description.
Yeah.
Still doesn't explain where the yachts come from. I mean, the swoop makes it look like it was docked to the underside of the cannon.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's where the captain's yacht is supposed to go. They've already got it deployed, which, of course, that's the wrong captain's yacht. And also, they call it the Coronado, which there's really no canon name for it, but it's generally regarded on the Enterprise D as the Calypso. That's the name they give it in the technical manual. I think also in the Star Trek Encyclopedia as well.
Yes, because it was, yeah, I remember.
All right, and welcome to the stream, Trial Butler. Okay, Coronado to Enterprise, ready for launch.
Ready for separation, Captain. Awaiting the order. Drop out of warp, separate, and launch on my mark. Now. Mr. Barclay, open a subspace channel to Imperial Command. Uncoded frequency.
Aye, sir.
Under attack by a large Cardassian Klingon fleet, situation dire. Have elected to launch experimental antimatter Cobalt drone in an effort to create a warp singularity that will subsume their forces. Consider this notice to all Imperial ships to avoid this sector and the accompanying singularity. Jean-Luc Picard, Command ISS Enterprise.
Singularity? He's bluffing. Sir, a much smaller vessel has detached from the Imperial ship and is headed straight for us at full impulse power. He's definitely pulling a Corbomite maneuver.
Yes.
He's like pulled that straight out of his ass. Multiple enemy vessels opening fire on the Coronado. They're concentrating heavy fire with phasers. Coronado is successfully invading.
Taking the bait, as I'd anticipated.
Mm-hmm. Some phasers opening up.
Mm-hmm.
And another good view of the wrong captain's yacht. It's well drawn captain's yacht. Unfortunately, it's just the wrong one for that ship.
I think I can see a fatal weakness in the Klingon Cardassian alliance here. They're small maneuverable target, and they're going after it with massive fixed energy weapons. Meanwhile, the birds of prey are just kind of chilling.
They're not firing at all. No,
yeah. The ships that
like
are designed to hunt down small, fast-moving targets.
Yep. If you're gonna do this, Picard, do it fast. I can't keep this up forever. Time to put the fear of God in this bunch of spoonheads. That's that's probably O'Brien's favorite description of the Cardies.
Yeah.
Aside from Cardies. They're taking fire. Brr, the ship is rocking around. Coronado continuing to evade fire. The saucer section continues to follow us and is not yet engaged the enemy, nor is the Stargazer or Horatio. Taking fire from multiple Klingon vessels. Shields down to 56%. We can't keep taking pounding like this, Captain. And then this panel must be out of order because he hasn't told me his plan yet. And he doesn't actually even answer. Picard doesn't even answer Wesley's question. Wesley says, "Are you certain the warp drive can do this, Captain?"
I haven't survived this long without learning a few things and keeping them to myself, Ensign. Mr. Crusher, I'm going to need you to lay in new coordinates within this sector at random headings until further notice. Mr. LaForge, you'll jump us to high warp from full stop every 1.5 seconds as Mr. Crusher lays in the coordinates. Mr. Barclay, you will need to precisely time your phaser and photon torpedo bursts with each 1.5 seconds we've dropped out of warp. Timing is paramount.
Understood, Captain.
Ready and now.
Man, okay. So what they're doing is basically doing multiple Picard maneuvers in a row. I'm not sure that would be an effective tactic in a fleet situation like this.
It looks a little bit more like the Discovery when it was popping all around the Emperor's ship.
That stupid mushroom drive thing.
Yes.
Oh man, I hate that show.
Everything's better with mushrooms and Space Jesus.
So they're jumping around random spots in the middle of a fleet action. How are they not crashing into other ships?
Well, it looks to me from this that the saucer, the star drive section is the only one that's actually doing anything.
Yeah, well, the saucer section doesn't have warp drive, so
no,
it can't do the Picard maneuver.
But the Stargazer and the Horatio are staying back out of it as well.
Yeah. Well, he didn't tell him the plan. Picard didn't tell him the plan. He's like, "It's my maneuver. Damn it! It's got my name on it." They're everywhere. It's madness. It cannot be.
Enterprise?
Yeah, one Cardassian, he's freaking out.
Very angry. Enterprise to Captains Keel and Scott. The path is clear.
Oh no, is that a relative of Michael Burnham there?
Possibly. The hair's a bit
this came before that. This came out before that anyway, but at your starboard, Enterprise. I'm trying to do it really emotionless, like what's her name? Can't act. We're right behind you, Enterprise. Drop the hammer. I think that means go faster. That doesn't mean fire more or anything.
Unless he's recently been watching 21st century cultural heritage films and been watching too much Thor.
Yeah, maybe. But now the rest of the ships are getting in on the action. The saucer section, the Stargazer, and the Horatio. Sensors indicate serious to crippling damage to the majority of the enemy fleet, sir.
Excellent. Number one, am I safe to assume you're still among the living?
Alive and well, Captain. They never laid a glove on me.
Of that, I had no doubt. Make your way to the rendezvous with the saucer section at your discretion.
Send orders to all remaining ships. Withdraw immediately. Take us out of here. Yes, sir. The remaining Cardassian and Klingon ships are retreating, Captain.
That's right. Run. Run like the cowards you are. Run back to your masters and tell them. You tell them we're coming for them. Your days are over. Do you hear me? Over! Picard letting out some of that pent-up rage.
I love that angry face. We have 3 more ships dropping out of warp, Captain. They're Imperial vessels. We're being hailed, sir.
Open a channel. Keep those shields up. Admiral Quinn.
Picard, it looks as though we missed the party, though I admit it wasn't the party we were expecting to attend.
That's one of the other captains.
Yeah, it's probably
Keel.
Probably Admiral. If I may, Picard had every opportunity to abscond with the Enterprise. He could have jumped to high warp, and you would have never seen him or the Enterprise again, and you'd never have seen us again. Either after the Cardassians and Klingons were done with us. Oh, it is Captain Keel. Okay. I'm aware of that, Captain Keel. I thought for certain you were about to be blown to hell by that armada there. Or by that armada. There hasn't been a victory like this against the Klingon-Cardassian alliance in years. It was unexpected, and we need it now more than anything. In light of the actions we've just witnessed, I'm willing to offer you and your crew a rare blanket of absolution and all crimes against the Empire committed today, and a battlefield transfer for you, Picard, to Captain of the Enterprise. Would you like to keep running until we eventually bring you to heel? Or would you care to accept and serve the glory of the Empire?
I believe I would. Lower shields, Mr. Barclay.
Later. I checked in on Guinan as ordered, Captain. She's resting comfortably.
Ah, Mr. Barclay. I felt it only appropriate to mark our victory with a celebration. Join us, won't you?
Thank you, Captain. Now where was I? Ah, yes. Durmian 3. I wasn't worried at all. I knew the Coronado could outfly those Cardi cement blocks.
Now, when I discovered that maneuver, I only executed it the once, but I surmised that our third nacelle would provide the stability to accomplish multiple jumps.
Maybe you should take it easy with that stuff. I don't need to worry about me. I'm not sure what she's saying there. Marayasa Thasa Tasa? I'm not sure what she's saying.
Lieutenant Barclay, you appear concerned.
Not concerned, Data. Just uncertain. I mean, it wasn't so long ago that the only thing I wanted was to murder Picard. I wanted it so bad I could taste it. And now, how many people in this room have felt the same way? And how long can this possibly last? That was an awesome line to read. Let's take a look at this celebration that we got. They've got Romulan ale, it looks like,
Mm-hmm.
which, okay, is not necessarily illegal in the mirror universe, probably not. But also looks like they're eating tard, which is strange.
Maybe they salvaged it from one of the Klingon wrecks.
Maybe, yeah,
They also
one
have
of
the world's
captain's,
largest
pets.
ham.
Yeah. They've got no tablecloth too. They're in the observation lounge with a bunch of food piled on the table. No tablecloth. Seems a little unsanitary. um, okay. Continue on.
That's the end.
Oh yeah. That's the end. All right. So that is the end of Volume 5 and the end of Mirror Broken.
For now.
For now, yeah. So there's actually 2 other follow-up miniseries that we could do. We could go through. If you wanted to do some more.
Well, it's 1:15 in the morning back here in the
Oh
UK.
yeah, I didn't mean right now.
Oh yeah, no.
In the future. Yeah.
Yeah. We can go over those at some point in the future.
Excellent. Yeah. How did you feel about the last issue, Volume 5?
I quite liked it. It's. I mean, to be honest, there's only so many ways you can. There's only so many ways that you can get Picard in command of the Enterprise when he's not originally in command of the Enterprise, and in this kind of universe, that's going to involve a lot of dead people. So I guess this is probably about the best way for them to get him in command, and also make it so that the Empire isn't going to turn around and immediately try and kill him over it.
Definitely. What do you think about the final battle and the conclusion of the series?
It's pretty. It's pretty well executed. I mean, the main thing I think, as we were talking about earlier, is going to be for me is this set in. I mean, it's got to pretty much be set in an alternate mirror universe, but there's so many alternate mirror universes going on, because by the DS9 mirror universe, the Terran Empire fell a long time ago. It fell sort of somewhere between the original series and Next Generation. Then I think it's Mirror Darkly. There's a TNG novel which has Picard and co on a Mirror Enterprise D, like the regular one, with the Terran Empire still going perfectly strong. And then you've got this one, which is kind of a hybrid where the Terran Empire still exists, but it's being beaten back by the alliance that we see in DS9. But that alliance hasn't made as much progress as it had in DS9. So,
go ahead.
I was going to say, if this is kind of another alternate mirror universe, it'd be interesting to see where they take it, because it means that at that point they've got the whole thing open to them.
I think they're trying to make this fit in with Deep Space Nine with the Klingon Cardassian alliance. I guess they're trying to retcon it a little bit, I think. So there's a Starfleet mirror Starfleet to do stories about. But yeah, I think it's supposed to be the actual same mirror universe, because in the other issues it tells the history of the mirror universe. It's the same. It's the same from the original mirror episode.
Yeah, I think that's like the common starting point. It's just from what I recall, the DS9 mirror universe, the Terran Empire had been it had fallen a long time ago, whereas this is maybe a few years before that point.
No, I don't think so, because in Deep Space Nine, it fell shortly after Spock had taken over.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Whereas in this, it's still going. So
Yeah.
it's
No,
not
I think
the DS9 one.
I think it's supposed to be a retcon. I think they're just supposed to they've fallen back into basically the Terran solar system. So I guess they're trying to make that fit in, so it's not completely. It's essentially fallen because it's lost everything except for their home solar system. Yeah. But yeah, that was some good stuff. Any other comments you want to say or anything else?
No, I mean, I enjoyed this particularly, and I also enjoy the mirror universe setting generally. Anyway, so
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun.
Did you did you enjoy the performance with me today?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I as I said before, I desperately need to work on my Star Trek specific voice acting, which
No, I
leaves.
wouldn't worry about that. I did. I'd say as long as you enjoyed performing and enjoyed performing with me and reading the material, then it doesn't really matter if your impressions are that on because mine weren't.
Oh well, it's one of those things. We'll I'm sure I'll get better over time.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, if you're willing to continue on, like I said, not tonight, of course, but do some more. We can do the follow-ups because eventually they will get the regular timeline crew and the mirror universe crew will interact and like they go into the different universes, and I think the mirror universe goes into the regular universe. So
yeah, that'd be fun to go through. So yeah, definitely worth a shot.
All right. Well, yeah, I think we're going to call it right here for now. But yeah, I think there's going to be more in store in the future. Thank you so much for joining me, Drachinifel. I know it's late for you, so I'm not going to keep you any longer.
Right.
And yeah, have a great evening, and thanks everyone for watching.
See you another time.
See ya.
Bye.